Good morning. Welcome to First Church Unitarian here in Littleton, Massachusetts. My name is Lara Hoke, pronouns she, her, and I'm happy and lucky to be the minister serving this incredible congregation. We welcome you this morning. It's so happy to see you with us, whether you're here in the sanctuary or whether you've joined us online. It's always wonderful to have you with us, and the service is better because of your presence. So welcome, welcome. I also want you to know that we welcome the sound of children and babies, so never worry about that. We are happy to have everybody here, and we all make noises from time to time, and it's okay. We have a couple of special guests today. It's your chance to meet our new office administrator, Tara Kirby, and Tara is delightful, and she's here with her husband, Scott Weissman. So say hello if you get the chance. Welcome them. If you are looking for some pastoral care, if you need someone to talk to about something happening in your life, you can always reach out to me, or you can also reach out to one of our wonderful lay pastoral ministers. Today's lay pastoral minister is Ann Donald, who is with us just about every week online. And our other wonderful lay pastoral ministers are Jan Dustin, Linda Kaler, and Patty Sardella. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jim for Community Matters.
Thank you, Lara. Good morning, First Church Unitarian. Good morning. Welcome to everybody joining us remotely via Zoom from, around the country, sometimes even around the world. And welcome to everybody here in our sanctuary in Littleton, Massachusetts. My name is Jim Nehring, pronouns he, him, and I have the privilege of serving on the standing committee, and I have the great joy of singing with the choir under the direction of the inimitable Molly Lozeau, and in the company of, company of some great choristers. Is that the right word, chorister? Yeah, okay, yeah, choristers. Three quick announcements highlighting some things that are in your community matters in reverse chronological order. So first is the annual country fair, October 4th from 10 to 2. If you are not already involved, there is always room for more volunteers, and you can see Susan Tordella. Susan, are you here this morning? Susan? She's going to be in the back. And then also Karen Tucker-Barasano. Is Karen here this morning? Oh, okay. Are there other folks who are like leadership roles? Bob Williams. You could see Bob if you aren't already involved in the country fair. Let's see. Second, again, reverse chronological order, the Big Pew Review, next steps. So during the fall, your executive team will continue to provide opportunities to discuss potential changes to our sanctuary for alignment with our vision and mission. During the spring, we gathered lots of congregational views and staff views. We learned the main areas of focus are seating and chancel, with particular concern for safety, access, accommodation of diverse spiritual perspectives, and flexibility. So how we meld all that together, that's our work. So there are going to be two opportunities to meet. First is September 28th downstairs, where we'll look at what some folks in our congregation have done visiting other churches where they've made interesting changes to their sanctuaries. And then on October 26th, we'll look at some specific scenarios that might address the range of interests and concerns we've raised. Okay, third announcement is Drumming Up Support, which is after church today. Our church is so amazing. We even have folks in this church who have created an educational foundation. And to raise money for that foundation, you can join everyone for some Ghanaian food and some fun drumming after the service today. And then this last-minute appeal from Thea, who is always looking for RE volunteers. So see Thea, please, if you can volunteer for RE. And that's it. Thank you, and welcome to our sacred service.
Some of you are wondering what that picture is that's on the cover. And it matches our call to worship this morning, which is a piece called Mycelium by Geneen Marie Haugen. Mycelium are the main parts of fungus, the part that you don't really see, almost like the roots of fungus, the part that's underground. And in nature, these wonderful mycelia are prevalent in fields and forests and any heavily wooded area, like roots, a root system that you're not usually aware of. So that is the background. And now Haugen's words. We don't know what's around the uncharted bend in this wild river of change. Let us learn from our fellow earth inhabitants, like mycelium networks, who know about sharing resources, recycling toxins into nourishment, communicating underground. Let us find meaning in mystery rather than consumption. Let us turn our ears to the music rising out of the ground, and let us worship. I'd like to invite Vivian to come and light our chalice this morning. And as Vivian lights our chalice, please join me in saying the words of our covenant. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Thank you. Please join me in our opening hymn. It's number 1 in the gray hymnal, but it's also, the lyrics will be on the screens. It's May Nothing Evil Cross This Door. I invite you to rise in body or spirit. Please be seated.
You can sit with them, or you can come sit up front. Good morning. My name's Thea. I'm the Director of Religious Ed. I'm the Director of Religious Ed. My name is Thea, and I do have a quiet voice sometimes. Don't want you to get the wrong impression. This morning's story is by Maurice Sendak, and it's called Pierre, a cautionary tale in 5 chapters and a prologue. Do you know this book? Awesome. Do you like it? Okay. And it's very little. It's very cute. There once was a boy named Pierre who only would say, "I don't care." Read his story, my friend, and you'll find in the end that a suitable moral lies there. Chapter 1. One day his mother said when Pierre climbed out of bed, "Good morning, darling boy, you are my only joy." Pierre said, "I don't care." What would you like to eat? I don't care. Some lovely cream of wheat? I don't care. Don't sit backwards on your chair. I don't care. Or pour syrup in your hair. I don't care. You're acting like a clown. I don't care. And we have to go to town. I don't care. Don't you want to come, my dear? I don't care. Would you rather stay right here? I don't care. So his mother left him there. Chapter 2. His father said, "Get off your head or I will march you up to bed." Pierre said, "I don't care. I think that you could see, I don't care, that your head is where your feet should be. I don't care. If you keep standing upside down, I don't care. We'll never, ever get to town. I don't care. If only you would say, I care. I don't care. I'd let you fold the folding chair. I don't care." So his parents left him there. They didn't take him anywhere. Chapter 3. Now, as the night began to fall, a hungry lion paid a call. He looked Pierre right in the eye and asked him if he'd like to die. Pierre said, "I don't care." "I'll eat you, don't you see?" "I don't care. And you will be inside of me." "I don't care." "Then you'll never have to bother." "I don't care." "With a mother and a father." "I don't care." "Is that all you have to say?" "I don't care." "Then I'll eat you, if I may." "I don't care." So the lion ate Pierre. Chapter 4. Arriving home at 6 o'clock, his parents had a dreadful shock. They found the lion sick in bed and cried, "Pierre is surely dead." They pulled the lion by the hair. They hit him with a folding chair. His mother asked, "Where is Pierre?" The lion answered, "I don't care." His father said, "Pierre isn't there." Chapter 5. They rushed the lion into town. The doctor shook him up and down. And when the lion gave a roar, Pierre fell out upon the floor. He rubbed his eyes and scratched his head and laughed because he wasn't dead. His mother cried and held him tight. His father asked, "Are you all right?" Pierre said, "I am feeling fine. Please take me home. It's 9:30. The lion said, "If you would care to climb on me, I shall take you there." Then everyone looked at Pierre, who shouted, "Yes, indeed, I care." The lion took them home to rest and stayed on as a weekend guest. The moral of Pierre is care. And we need to.
Our congregation is self-supporting. We rely on the generosity of our members and friends for our ministries. Many share generously their time and talent for the ministries of FCU. During the offering, we ask you, if you're able, to share some of your treasure to support our ministries. If you wish to donate online, you can go to our website, fculittle.org, and look for the yellow Donate button in the upper right. You could also send a check to the church through the mail to the attention of the Assistant Treasurer at 19 Foster Street, Littleton, Mass. 01460. The offering will now be given and received in grateful appreciation. Please join me in the community response. May we be transformed by our giving, and may the world be transformed by our gifts.
Many weeks we have a time that we call the Candles of Caring. This is an opportunity to share with this gathered beloved community any special joys or concerns or sorrows that are dear to you this morning. We ask that if you are in the sanctuary and you have something that you'd like to share, that you, if you're able, come to the microphone and let us know your name and briefly let us know how we might direct our thoughts, prayers, and healing wishes. If you wish, after that, we can bring the microphone to you where you sit in the pews. And also, if you are with us online on Zoom, You can raise the hand in the reactions area, and we will call on you in turn, and we will light a candle up front for all of the joys and concerns shared. Are there any joys and concerns to share this morning? Once again, we have come together in love and trust, sharing those cares dearest to us with this gathered beloved community. Let us hold in our thoughts and our prayers those joys, concerns, and sorrows that were spoken aloud, personal and for this country, as we also hold in our thoughts and our prayers all those joys, concerns, and sorrows that remain unspoken. And let us join together in a time of sacred silence. Blessed be, and amen. Every time I do the signing for Spirit of Life, I think of our wonderful Lorinda Morimoto, who taught that to us. She's still with me, and I'm still with all of us. This was quite a week in the United States of America. Another tough week for our now troubled democracy. There was yet another school shooting, which we barely heard about, but it happened in Colorado. And of course, the news is very much filled with the murder or assassination of right-wing activist Charlie Kirk in Utah. And my head has been spinning ever since Wednesday. There's so much to digest from this horrible and chilling incident. There's so much to process. There's so much to parse. The irony, I suppose, is that my sermon today, The Banality of Denial, I titled it, was supposed to be about a very different phenomenon. All summer long, I kept thinking how weird it is that we're in the midst of such a terrible time in our democracy, that we're really in the throes of trying to save our democracy from authoritarianism and fascism, and yet, the laundry pile, and yet, what's for dinner, And yet I need to get my oil changed, and I owe so-and-so a phone call. You know, it kept blowing my mind that it's so easy to forget that our democracy is in the midst of an existential crisis in a daily way because we're so wrapped up in just living, just day-to-day, mundane life. And it kept making me think of everyday Germans during the Third Reich. And I always used to wonder, how did they just go about their lives like nothing was happening when there was so much horror all around them? How did they not abandon their everyday normal lives and dive into resisting the Third Reich with every ounce of their being? And here I am in August with my laptop drafting a fantasy football team. You know? And it's not that I am doing nothing good for the world or for my neighbors or for my country, but am I doing nearly enough? Is it what I thought I'd be doing? And how could I even possibly care about fantasy football or what's streaming on Netflix when everything is happening the way it is right now in our country? And somehow it brought to mind that 1963 book by Hannah Arendt called Eichmann in Jerusalem, a report on the banality of evil. And Eichmann, and the title of the book, of course, was Adolf Eichmann, leader in the Nazi SS, who was personally responsible for sending Jews en masse to concentration camps. And Hannah Arendt was a professor of political philosophy, and she herself was a German Jew who had been imprisoned by the Gestapo for a time before her escape. She volunteered to cover the trial of Eichmann and to write articles about it for The New Yorker, which eventually became this book. And she coined that phrase, the banality of evil. And she found that in spite of the evil acts that Eichmann had committed during the Holocaust, she really didn't think that he was particularly a monster. She found him ordinary. She found him psychologically normal, as the psychologists at the trial testified. She found, of course, many of his actions to be evil, but she found him to be banal, not remarkable, not a monster, not evil, which is partly why the book was so controversial when it came out. People wanted to see him as evil. But she wrote, quote, "What he had done was a crime only in retrospect because Hitler's orders, which he had certainly executed to the best of his ability, had possessed the force of law in the Third Reich, and those who today told Eichmann that he could have acted differently simply did not know or had forgotten how things had been." So I kept thinking about all of that, and I don't think I'm evil. And I'm not even following evil orders, but I am kind of living in denial a lot of the time. And I just feel like I spend a lot more time thinking about everyday things than I do thinking about how I can really help save democracy. You know, how banal. And I've seen people post on social media, maybe you have too, if you ever wondered what you would do in Nazi Germany, you're doing it right now. And I think, well, I'm doing something, but it's not what I would have liked to have thought, and I am spending a lot of time just not thinking about it. And then Wednesday happened, and I've been obsessed with our democracy and the state of things, the mess we're in, for the past, whatever it is, 96 hours. It's kind of all I've really been thinking about, or it's been just behind any other thought. And I literally didn't sit down to write this sermon until last evening, which is not my normal practice. I just didn't know what I wanted to say, and maybe I still don't completely. I know that I've been doing a lot of soul searching since Wednesday. I saw some disturbing reactions to Kirk's murder on social media, coming from the left as well as the right. Some folks were actually celebrating, reveling in this murder or assassination. Now, I thought many, if not most, of the words that Kirk said publicly while he was alive were horrible and harmful and deserve to be condemned, those words. But murder is wrong, full stop. And political violence is particularly chilling. I know I don't want to be murdered for my words and beliefs, and no one should be. But my soul search continues. There's been a lot of talk about how Charlie Kirk was shot simply for his beliefs and words, and that free speech means you should be able to say pretty much anything. Means that we should be able to discuss just about anything openly, debating like good Americans. And as Governor Spencer Cox of Utah said, words are not violent. Violence is violence. And there's only one person responsible for what happened, and that person is in custody, he said. But what about harmful words? What about hateful words? Words that might incite harmful, hateful, even violent behavior. Did our president's words rouse people into the January 6, 2021 insurrection at the Capitol? Did his words incite that behavior? But for the rest of us who don't have quite that much power, don't have that much of a platform, how much power do our words have? And do loaded words incite bad things or even violence, even when that's not the intent? And so what about my own words? I have a little bit of a platform up here. And I do think and say pretty comfortably that this administration is authoritarian. I think that's a fairly bland, accurate word. I have at times called it fascist, or at least having fascist tendencies. Is that fair? Is that too far? Is it too loaded? And in today's sermon, though, I have not called the administration Nazis, and for the record, I do not think that they are Nazis. I have made the analogy to the Third Reich, haven't I? Is that too much? And so I'm soul searching, and I don't have the answer for you today, if there is an answer, or I don't even have my answer exactly for you today. I can't control the rhetoric of other people. I certainly can't control the rhetoric of those with whom I disagree, but I do have to be responsible for my own words and rhetoric. It reminds me of a story that I recently heard shared by Glennon Doyle, who's the author, activist, and podcaster, some of you might know. And she shared the story of a man who, during the war in Vietnam, would stand in front of the White House night after night with a candle. And he would just stand there and hold it until the candle burned all the way down. He would do this night after night. And eventually a reporter went to him and asked him what he thought he was accomplishing exactly doing this night after night. The reporter asked him, "Do you think you and your candle are going to change this war? Do you think you and your candle are going to change this administration?" And the man said, "Oh, I don't come here each night to change them. I come here each night so that they don't change me. I come here each night so that they don't change me." And I've been sitting with that, and I feel like I want a new spiritual practice of burning a candle all the way down every day to remind me that I don't want to become a lesser person while I'm protesting evil. My colleague, the same one who reminded me of that Mycelium piece, by the way, recently reminded me of something else Glennon Doyle shared, a really good metaphor, and something a little different. Most of us, myself included, have called ourselves the resistance. We're resisting the administration, and that's okay if you're a Star Wars nerd like me. You can imagine that you're Luke Skywalker or Princess Leia resisting Darth Vader and the Empire, what have you. That's sort of romantic. but it also has potential undertones of violence, to think of things that way. So not everyone loves that metaphor. So here's a different one. Glennon Doyle talked about an essay, actually by Michelle Alexander, an essay that said, "We are not the resistance." Instead, it said this, and this is in Doyle's paraphrasing. "The river of justice and love and equality and shared humanity has been flowing since the beginning of time and cannot be stopped and will not be stopped. They are the resistance. We are the river. And what we have to do now is get into the river. I want you to imagine," she said, "that there is a river of justice and freedom and shared humanity. On the river is a fleet of boats. Some of the boats say immigrant justice. There's a queer rights boat. There's a racial justice boat. There's a protect higher education boat. There's a healthcare for everybody boat. There's a free Palestine boat. And they all have amazing captains that are captaining these boats and have been forever. And we just have to get in a boat. And when we get in a boat, we are not the captain. We are the deckhand. So we just have to take orders. And the only thing we yell at the other boats is, 'Keep going. We are with you. Go, go, go.' We do not yell at the other boats and ask them why they're not in our boat. We need them in their boat while we're in our boat. And while we're in our boat, we don't just protest and organize and activate, although we do those things. We also dance, and we love each other so well, and we party, because our job is to be so irresistible that everybody on the shore wants to get into our boats." She goes on, "Then when they get into our boats from the shore, we do not yell at them for not knowing things that we just learned 8 minutes ago. Everybody on the shore just wants a loving, vibrant place to land. That's all they want. And I promise you," she says, "the other side does not have that. But we do. We can offer that if we do the boats right," she says. So when we, like Alexander and Doyle, think of ourselves as the river, we can really get into a beautiful flow of being and becoming beautiful people, helping to create a more beautiful world. The other metaphor I used earlier, hey, I don't have any magic tricks as a UU minister. I've got candles, and I've got moments of silence, I've got a singing bowl, and I've got metaphors. And in the call to worship, I introduced the metaphor of Mycelium. If you prefer a metaphor for being a kind of loving, nonviolent resistance, perhaps like mycelia, as Haugen puts it, be like mycelium networks who know about sharing resources, recycling toxins into nourishment, communicating underground, finding meaning in mystery rather than consumption. But if you want to let that little light of yours shine, think about being part of that irresistible, loving fleet on the river. Think of speaking truth to power, which is still important, even if we're trying to be careful about our words. Think about working for healing and beauty in the world, with strength, but with love always at the center. Or in the words of our closing hymn, think of being sunshine in the streets, open-hearted might, being love. May it be so. Blessed be, and amen. Our closing hymn is from that new online-only UU hymnal, which is called Sing Out Love. And you will see the words on the screens, and I think it's a pretty simple tune, so you'll get the hang of it pretty quickly. I invite you to rise in body or spirit.
Source of perfect light to all our souls.
Friends, it's our tradition for the closing words. If you're comfortable with it, and if the person next to you is comfortable, you could hold hands or touch feet or shoulders or elbows or anything that works for you, or simply put your hands up and feel the energy between us and those who are with us online. Friends, we are a loving, gentle people. We sometimes do, understandably, get angry at injustice and harmful, cruel behavior. But it's up to us to feel the empathy, even if others don't. It's up to us to be the love. We know that love is the spirit of this church, and it is love that can save us all. May it be so. Blessed be, and amen. Please be seated.